What? There's a serious Sound collection coming to Nintendo Switch? If you think that I will buy three of the games again, um, two of which aren't actually very good, just because it's on the Nintendo Switch, then you are absolutely correct. Oh, apparently isn't available in this country. Great. Hello, and welcome back to Pop Culture Recap, a series where I hand out a cynical perspective on the month's entertainment news. For those people who saw my previous recap, you'd have heard me complain that James Bond was being delayed again because of COVID, and I am presented a fix in the episode on how films could potentially release during this time. On that being, release the film both online and in person. And it seems someone either heard me, which is extremely probably not what happened, or had the same idea, because Wonder Woman 1984, 1988, whatever is Wonder Woman 2 is apparently being released both on the new HBO Max and also in selected theaters, which probably means those ones that are open despite of COVID. So that being in this country, because we aren't locked down at the moment. And props to Warner Brothers for doing this. As I said, it's a good halfway point between not releasing anything at all and releasing stuff in the theater and being slammed for it, like new mutant stuff. So for that reason alone, I hope that it's an enjoyable film that people love. And this is hopefully it's miles better than the first film, on which anyone who knows me, I can't stand the ending of that film. Next up for today, the pop singer Sia is in hot water with the internet people after stupid stuff, to be honest, but it always is. So the thing is, Sia, the pop artist who is known for not showing her face on stage and wearing the marvelous the marvelous huge wigs, is making a film entitled Music, I think, and the film stars as the lead character a person with a disability. I think it's a character with Asperger's or something similar. And people on the internet, in their divine infinite wisdom, have gone in uproar to that, because apparently it's offensive to disabled people to not cast a disabled actor in that lead part. Which, oh boy, I don't even know where to start with this, because it's so stupid. Actors have been playing disabled characters since film began, because that's the way acting works. It's just, they don't know what the term acting means. It means you become a different person that isn't yourself. So what, we're only allowed to cast disabled actors in disabled roles? That's a bit offensive, if you ask me. And saying that only actors with that with that condition can be the only ones who can play those characters. That makes it more difficult for the representation, because then there'll only be like 5 actors able to do that part. Like, do you not see all the problems here? And like, then where does it stop? Are we only allowed to cast, I don't know, secret agents in spy films? Only able to cast actual superheroes in superhero films? Only able to cast actual animals in The Lion King? Do you see how stupid this sounds? I don't know why it's a huge deal. It came out of absolutely nowhere, and it's been happening for ages. Again, Martin Clunes has played a character with Asperger's for like 10 years. No one's complained about it then. The other interesting thing is that all these articles talking about this whole thing show Sia's actual face, like the one she hides behind her wig purposely so that she doesn't get spotted by other people. It's her whole shtick. But all these articles, they show her actual face. Like, why? Are you doing that out of spite because you hate her now? If so, wow, you're a horrible person. Like, Sia explicitly asks that she keeps her actual face a secret. Yeah, I know that there are interviews of her with her actual face, but normally when you talk about her, you show her wearing the wigs, because that's respectful for what the artist wants. But no, you apparently think that you're on the right and have the power to ruin Sia's career over literally nothing wrong. Moving on, however, because people just like to complain nowadays apparently, and Nintendo, the beloved video game company, is being just thrown under the bus by Nintendo fans because of some really bizarre reasons. There's like a couple of them which have just accumulated into people now hating Nintendo this month, and none of them I think are actually that bad. So there are kind of 4 main things that Nintendo fans have said over the past couple of weeks, that Nintendo are just a horrible company now, which no, they're not. But anyway, the most recent one is that a past game of theirs, Super Smash Brothers Melee, the second one in that franchise, had a competitive tournament the other day, and they added a mod to the game to make the game's internet smoother or whatever, and Nintendo shut the tournament down, allegedly claiming copyright because they didn't like the mod on their game. Where we know that isn't the actual reason. The actual reason is that Nintendo doesn't want Smash to be played competitively, because if you aren't aware, this year there was a huge reveal that about half the people who played the game competitively were pedophiles. So honestly, I don't blame them for wanting to take down that community. And yeah, their excuse about copyright their excuse for copyright might not actually be the reasons of why they actually took down the tournament, but it does still it does still work. And Nintendo games are special because they're rare and they're hard to find. They don't release them on everything, they only release them on Nintendo products. That makes them special and exclusive for that particular reason. And most game gaming producers do not really like mods. Unless you are like a Bethesda and then your game's like 80% mods. And Nintendo consoles are intentionally hard to mod for a reason, because honestly, in my opinion, if it isn't Skyrim or Fallout, if you're adding a mod to a game, it tells the company that the game isn't good enough on its own and you need to add some more stuff to it to be playable, which obviously the company sounds to them it sounds quite hurtful. Second thing is that earlier this year, Nintendo released a collection of three Mario games: Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Switch in a $60 package. And everyone complained that it was only available for like a year, which is actually the third issue, and that it was $60 for just ports, because apparently Nintendo hates emulators on playing like a Nintendo game on your computer, for example, and that these are pretty much just emulated games on the Switch, and they complained because they were too expensive. But they're really not, if you think about it. It's 3 games. That's a pretty good price for 3 games, considering other collections on the Switch, such as the Bioshock collection or the Borderlands collection, are $100. So I think 60 is actually pretty reasonable. And also, games are more expensive on the Switch for a specific reason. You are paying extra for the game to be both portable and played on and also played on TV. This thing isn't an Xbox. You're able to now play these games anywhere you go. That's enough to pay extra for the games, in my opinion. I don't mind. Switch games are more expensive because I can play them anywhere. If I play on my PC, I cannot. I can't take out my PC on the train. I can take out my Switch on the train and just play some games. That's the whole thing. As for issue 3, or with the limited releases, fans are saying that it's like annoying to only have the game available for that explicit amount of time because it spits in the face of the people who enjoyed the game, or like who want to buy it after it's already gone. But thing is, if you want to play it, you would have bought it by now, or buy it before it goes, before it's taken off the store, like I plan to do. If you simply just can't be bothered to buy it in the year it's out, well, that's your fault. And if you buy a Switch after it comes out, I'm sure you're able to get a few pre-owned copies of it. And relying entirely on pre-owned products is kind of is kind of a thing I don't like a Nintendo for. I don't hate them for. It's like slightly annoying that they kind of only allow their like the newest console, and just like because like I also have a Wii, because as soon as the Wii U came out, Nintendo stopped releasing Wii games, which is slightly annoying, but I can see why they do it, because every other company does it too. Xbox doesn't release games of the Xbox a 360. Same with the PS1, the PS2, and the PS3. Like, it isn't anything new. The only platform that's changed is PC, because PC can run any game, pretty much. The fourth issue that people are slamming Nintendo for is that apparently in court, Nintendo were taken to court for the issue of Joycon drift, which, if you aren't aware, is that the Switch Joy-Cons, these things, they have a habit of just being stuck on just randomly going a specific direction just whenever they want. I had it in a Joy-Con, had it fixed, it wasn't actually a huge thing. Like, it is a problem, but it isn't like the worst thing to ever happen to Nintendo. Like, because, but apparently, Nintendo argued in court that that Joy-Con drift wasn't an actual problem that people encountered with the Nintendo Switch. This is the only issue out of the four that I think is actually has some a basis, because yeah, it isn't a huge problem as I said, but it is a thing. And Nintendo did make a mistake. The Joy-Cons aren't extremely reliable, but people are complain that Nintendo do not fix them like at all, like, because apparently you're able to send the Joy-Cons into a Nintendo and they'll fix them and send them back, but like they don't. It's a very like finicky process, which I don't know why you'd go so far as to send them to Nintendo themselves. Take it into EB Games, get it fixed. It's cheap, and they stay fixed. From my experience, it's just a small fee, and you'll fix the problem. Like, yeah, Nintendo isn't a perfect company. They make mistakes, but don't just try to cancel them or be super irate about them. It's just Nintendo fans nowadays are just really annoying people. Like, especially Smash Bros fans. Oh my goodness, they're like this saltiest people known to man. With just each DLC character that gets released for the game, people who think that that Nintendo owes them something, write entire essays about why X character should be in the game, where the guy behind the game, Sakurai, he doesn't owe you anything. He can do what he wants. It's his game. It's his passion project. Like as harsh as it sounds, game companies don't owe you anything. The only time that a game company owes you anything is if you've already brought a game and they promised you a particular thing and you don't get that particular thing. So like Fallout 76. I haven't played it, but I know that was apparently just a very underwhelming thing, because we were promised one thing and got not that. And yeah, the players should get should get something in return for that. But in regards to Nintendo, shouldn't add Fire Emblem characters into Smash Bros anymore? No. Why not? Like, they added a character in specifically to get the new the Fire Emblem game, a game on 3 houses, to be popular in the West, and it achieved exactly that. It was the most popular entry in the Fire Emblem series. So, but the only people complaining about it were the ones who wanted extremely specific characters in Smash, which is basically Nintendo fans just love to hate Nintendo for doing stuff, but basically, and they use all these just random mistakes as excuses. Okay, smaller news. I didn't do other split last month because there wasn't any. There's a small bit of smaller news. At the Grammys, apparently The Weeknd, the artist The Weeknd, got up on stage and started to trash talk the Grammys on them being a scam, which, yes, I agree, award shows are a scam because they're just pretentious and they're pointless because the judges already know the person they're going to pick, and they're biased towards particular artists anyway. So, yep, continue doing that, The Weeknd. And also, an announcement and a trailer was released for Final Fantasy 16, which I don't know if that's going to be on anything that isn't the PlayStation 5. Hopefully it is, because I would quite like to play it after I've played the other Final Fantasy games, which will probably take me like two more years, but it will probably take that long to come out. But it looks good. It looks interesting, I guess. It does look similar to the previous game, but I don't particularly mind that. Each game kind of has its own style. And yeah, I think that's everything of interest. So yeah, I hope all of you have a great Christmas, and I will see all of you next year in the next video. Farewell.